You're listening to Trademarks Made Easy. Trademarks Made Easy is the podcast focused on helping brand owners in the e-commerce space. With your host, Susie Hickson, the private label lawyer. But don't worry, you won't find too much legalese here.
Well, hey there. I'm your host, Susie Hickson, also known as the private label lawyer. As a trademark lawyer with specific experience in the private label world, my goal is to help you navigate the e-commerce space by properly selecting and protecting, and just as important, enforcing your trademarks. Now, in this episode, I'm going to let you in on a little brand protection secret that trademark owners rarely talk about, but can really get you ahead of the brand protection competition, especially if you're dealing with counterfeits on Amazon coming from China. So, are you ready? Here we go. For many experienced e-commerce brand owners, the question is when, not if, they will ultimately be the victim of a counterfeit seller on Amazon. Manufacturers overseas are producing knockoffs of American goods at a rapidly increasing rate. In 2007, the value of counterfeit imports worldwide was $176 billion. In 2013, that number had risen to $461 billion. Now, the United States is the hardest hit by these intellectual property rights infringers, and about 20% of the total seizures are counterfeit American products. Now, this alarming trend highlights the importance of not only registering your trademark with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, but also the need to employ every tool available to protect your rights. One of the all too often overlooked strategies against e-commerce counterfeiters is customs recordation through the United States Customs and Border Protection Agency. The CBP is a federal agency whose primary function is securing the integrity of the country's borders. This authority includes protecting intellectual property rights in the United States against infringement from abroad. The CBP is authorized by U.S. law to intercept counterfeit or infringing goods. In 2016, the CBP seized 31,560 imports and arrested 451 individuals alone. When you record your trademark with U.S. Customs and Border Protection, all relevant information, including images of your trademark, is input into the CBP database. As goods are imported through each of the United States ports of entries, and there's about 317 of them, CBP officers compare the imports to those registered in the database to determine if any have infringing insignia on them. CBP can then seize and detain any goods that violate intellectual property rights in the United States. The CBP encourages registered trademark holders to partner with them to protect their rights. They have several resources, including information on drafting a product ID to assist CBP officers in understanding and helping you better protect your trademark. The CBP also invites anyone with information on suspect imports and importers to report them via the e-allegations program that you will find online. Any trademark registered with the United States Patent and Trademark Office on the principal register, as an aside, currently marks on the supplemental register are not eligible for recordal with CBP, but any that are on the principal register qualifies for customs recordation. And the recordation fee at the time of this recording is only $190 per international class of goods. So there's some pretty good bang for your buck right now. Before beginning your application, you will need your USPTO registration number and any digital images you have of your trademark. And yet this is another reason to register your trademark. The Recordation application also offers options for requesting protection against gray market articles on the basis of material and physical differences. And no, gray market goods are those that are sold legally but outside the normal commerce channels or outside the channels of normal distribution and not as the original manufacturer intended. Keep in mind that after recording with customs, you will need to keep CBP updated with any changes in your trademark or goods. For example, change in ownership, the addition of new products, etc. And you must renew your recordation within 3 months of the expiration of your U.S. trademark registration. This relatively simple tool can offer your brand a world of protection. Customs recordation allows the U.S. government to stop counterfeits at the border and often to prosecute those responsible. And the benefits far outweigh the nominal costs and trouble, making recordation with U.S. Customs a no-brainer for even the most novice trademark owner.
Thanks for listening to Trademarks Made Easy with Susie Hickson, the private label lawyer. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe anywhere you find podcasts or at theprivatelabellawyer.com.
Remember, the information provided in the Trademarks Made Easy podcast should not be construed as legal advice. It's for informational and entertainment purposes only. It should not be considered a substitute for legal advice. Also, I'm not your attorney. You should engage with an attorney to discuss your specific legal issues. And finally, while I have taken precautions to ensure that the content of my podcast is current and accurate, errors can occur, and thankfully, like us, the laws are ever evolving. That's all for this brief episode, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you loved it, and I hope you found it of value. In our next episode, we're going to be going a little bit longer, and we're going to be digging deep into how to handle Amazon counterfeiters. Remember, never stop learning.